What's up YouTube? For today's video, we're the full worst Pokemon items team. I see a lot of these items getting trashed on, so I thought I'd make a team based around some of the worst or not used items in the Pokemon games and give you 6 awesome strategies here. Now, there's quite a few items. I went through and picked the ones that sort of got roasted the most. Now, if you want to check me out on Twitch, people, this is where I do all my live streams, my theme teams, my Pokemon series, shiny hunts, all other forms of salty entertainment. Hit me up in the Twitch link there and drop me a follow for my streams. Let's get on to today's battle. We got a long video today. We got 2 battles with this team, and I spent a very, very long time on this team and battle, so I really hope you enjoy. This is on the Wycombe. This is against Lord Hades. We got a Calyrex Shadow Rider lead, and I've never seen one of these in my life. So I've got a Shedinja lead here, right? It's a lagging tail Shedinja, but it's not exactly what you call the greatest matchup, right? Let me explain the steps. So we've got Trick with lagging tail, Endure, Leech Life, and Poltergeist. What I want to do, right, is give lagging tail to the opponent. Now, lagging tail, it's a troll item, right? So pretty much once you are holding the item, or you give the item away, in this instance, we actually make the user go last in the priority bracket. So any Pokemon can actually outspeed them. So the Calyrex is going to set up a nasty plot. I'm going to get a life up, but I've got to go for the Poltergeist KO here. The only thing I was worried about, right, is if actually Poltergeist would miss, but I landed, and I landed very strong. And we got the first KO there on the Shadow Rider, giving it a lagging tail. Unfortunately, I got a Life Orb, so Life Orb is going to take Shedinja out. Shedinja with Life Orb, only on people, not Shadow people. So that's a even battle so far. The next Pokemon to come out here is going to be the Blissey, right? Now, Blissey's very bulky on the special side. It's got a lot of health, and I'm going to be sending in my Nihilego here. Now, this is a binding band set, the item binding band. I actually don't mind this item. What it does additional damage for like trapping style moves like Wrap, a Fire Spin, you know, you name it, right? So what we're going to do there, we're going to throw Ekans up around Blissey, right? Ekans Instant Sword and Shield confirmed. And Blissey's going to go for a Scumbag Minimize. Now, this is free real estate, right? Because I've got a Wrap and a Toxic set, and I've also got Sandstorm and Double Team as well. What I want to do, right, to make the most use out of the binding bed, you got to use the move like Wrap. Like, look at the extra additional damage that that's doing. It's a lot when you think about it. Now, to make things even faster, I'm going to poison the Blissey there. Now, Blissey is going to be wrapped. It can't swap out, and it's also going to be poisoned at the same time. Now, I'm not really sure if it's got, I'd say it's probably got Softball, but I'm not really sure if it's got Heal Bell or Aromatherapy at the moment, but I feel like I should be able to do a decent amount of damage to this thing. Now, it's got the Leftovers as the item, which is going to make things take a little bit longer there. I'm hoping that it doesn't have a way to heal that off, right? I'd say it could possibly have Stealth Rock, Toxic, Seismic Toss, any of those sort of moves Blissey normally uses. So what I'm going to be doing here is setting up the Sandstorm. Now, Sandstorm is going to be doing additional damage with the Toxic and the Wrap at the same time, so the opponent really isn't going to last too much longer. So here comes the Seismic Toss here. There's no point in the Blissey using Minimize anymore because it's poison and it's trapped in. And I'm going to be able to take a solid 5 of those at level 50, right? So Blissey has only got a couple of turns here left, right? And I'm thinking right now, I believe it's probably got around, with the damage, right? Look at this damage on Binding Band. I reckon it's got about 2 turns left. So Ekans putting him some solid damage right there. It's not shiny though. I'm sorry about that, people. So going for the Wrap there for additional damage. Unfortunately, Scumbag Blissey with Minimize is going to make that one miss. And now it's going to be the first Octopi on the moon, or Squid on the moon. I'm not sure. I'm just watching that show called Squid Game at the moment. I'm on episode like 3. Anyway, so we got the Blissey here. It's going to get some more leftovers recovery right now. It's got one more turn after this. So the Toxic damage is going to kick in, as well as the Binding Band. I believe if my Wrap landed the turn before that, I feel Blissey would have gone down, but it is what it is, people. I'm going to go for the Double Team here because, I mean, the opponent did use, Minimize, and I'm going to get some evasion up here. Unfortunately, Blissey is going to land the Seismic Toss through that, but it's okay. I've still got a little bit of health there, and I might even be able to poison the next Pokemon, right? So Blissey is going to go down to the Binding Band Wrap, which is really cool there. So a nice little strategy of Binding Band. Now, the next Pokemon to come in is going to be the Glade, right? Now, I did actually think about this. I was like, the best thing I should do is just straight up poison the Glade. If I go for a Wrap, well, I won't even get the end damage yet because it's probably going to be able to take me out. And then they're going to Dynamax the Glade. So I'm like, okay, it's definitely going to take me out here. So I'm probably thinking, well, it's going to use, obviously, Max Minosaur, Max Knuckle, something along those lines. I'm probably thinking Max Knuckle because I don't have a lot of health back. Now, the EV spread on this Nihilego was a max health, and we got max speed there with the Jolly Nature. Now, the Shinja, that one had max attack and max speed, if you were curious. I was thinking about putting someone special defense, but I didn't this time. So we got the Max Knuckle taking my Nihilego out here, which is very, very bad. So that's going to get +1 on attack. There's really only one Pokemon I can swap into this. Otherwise, I'm going to get swept by little Timmy here. So it's got the leftovers. There's the item. What is this? A full leftovers team? The good thing about it, there is some sand on the field and the poison is working, which will actually work in sort of like in tandem with my next strategy here, which is the Renucleus. So Sticky Barb, it's a troll item, right? Now, the only really way to get this activated is the opponent doesn't have an item. They attack with a contact move, and the Sticky Barb gets, it sticks to them, and they start taking damage each turn. However, you can force that by using Trick with Sticky Barb and giving it to the opponent. Now, I will not be taking any damage from Sticky Barb because I've got the ability Magic Guard, right? However, old Gallade over there doesn't have Magic Guard, so it's going to be taking some additional damage there. So it's going to be boosting his attack there with the Max Knuckle. Now, right, I've got the Sticky Barb doing damage, and I've got the poison at the same time. There is that little, issue of leftovers too, but that's going to be gone when I actually do the trick here. So I've got the trick up now. Everything's going very good. Now, I also got Trick Room on this one, so I can go first. And I've got Recover as well, so I can recover off any damage here, right? So getting hit by the Max Myosaur, that's not going to do a lot of damage to me, but I really don't want to take any other really powerful moves here. So I need to get that Trick Room up and need to start doing some extra damage, right? Now, I did actually steal the leftovers from the Gallade, which is going to help my survivability a little bit better, right? Now, Gallade is on its last turn of Dynamax there, and now it's not healing with leftovers anymore. It's actually damaging itself with the Sticky Barb, which is really cool. If you watched a couple of my videos, I've used a Troll Cosmog set with Sticky Barb. So I've got this option here. I was like, let's go Recover here. Let's get the health back. And then what I'll do, right, is go for Infestation. So not only will I have the Toxic going, I'll have the Sticky Barb going, and I'll trap them in with Infestation and do Infestation damage also. With the Binding Band and the Sticky Barb set, they're quite sort of, I guess they're quite stally kind of sets, but I sort of got the most out of the item there. Like, people roast Sticky Barb and stuff like that, but it's actually quite a situational, interesting item, right? Now, Glade's going to take some good damage here. It's going pretty well at the moment. Now, it's also taking extra damage there. I feel like I should be able to take this out very, very soon. Like, look at the damage that did. I've just got to wait for Toxic to, get a little bit more powerful there. So, going for Infestation is going to do nothing at all there. Here comes Psycho Cut. It's like, oh no, do not crit me. If I get critted by this, it's going to be nasty, right? Now, I feel like I can take one more there. Now, with Sticky Barb, I'm thinking, wow, I think Gallade is going to go down top. Look at the toxic damage there. It's easily going to go down the next turn, right? So what I'll do here, right, is I'll go for the trick, get my Sticky Barb back, take no damage because of Magic Guard, give them the leftovers, they're going to heal, and then faint to the Disrespect Toxic, right? And then, right, I might be able to give the Sticky Barb to the next incoming Pokemon. So you make use of the Sticky Barb, then you give it back, and then you give it to them again. So here comes another Psycho Cut here from the Gallade. Unfortunately for me, it's going to take out my Renucleus. It's a shame, people. But I guess the best thing that came out of this was I was able to shut down the Gallade in the Dynamax. That thing was pretty scary with the psychic terrain on the field there. So bye-bye Gallade, you were going to fake to the Toxic anyway. Now I'm thinking here what the opponents Pokemon were left, right? There was one particular, actually there's two particular Pokemon I wanted to use, and they were quite situational. So the next one we got here is the Bishop, and I've got my Latios here. Now Ring Target is a very, very interesting item, right? I've used it a lot. I've popularized this item a lot, and I thought I'd give you, a basic rundown on the strategy. So we've got the Bishop going for Sucker Punch. That's not going to happen anyway because of the Psychic Terrain, and I'm using a status move. And I'm going to go for Trick here. So this actually removes the type immunities of a move. So now I'm going to be able to use a Psychic move on a Dark type Pokemon, right? Which is going to be Future Sight. So go for Future Sight there. Bishop's Future is not going to be very bright. The only thing about Future Sight, it's not going to be very effective still because it's going to be like, hitting a Steel type, right? So I'm going to need to hear probably some really, really hard hit to take it out. And I'm thinking here I'm going to need to stall out this turn so it gets hit by the Future Sight the next turn, and then possibly go for the Dynamax here. Iron Head is doing a lot of damage here. Obviously, they don't have knockoff or anything like that. Their only Dark type move is the Sucker Punch. So choosing the Max Mindstorm here, which is really cool, and then I can go for Max Mindstorm, and then the Future Sight should kick in right after that, and hopefully take out the opposing Bishop. I just need to live like whatever move the Bishop's going to do. Obviously, it's going to go for Iron Head, or it may even go for like Sword Dance or something like that. I wasn't really sure. If it had knockoff, I'd say it would have used it already, previously when I went for the trick. So go for Max Mindstorm here. It does very, very good damage to Bishop, doing well over half health. So that was really, really good. And we've got some Psychic Terrain here on the field once again. So we had the Glade with the Psychic Terrain, now the Latios. Now, we got the Bishop going for the Iron Head there. That's going to do very, very minimal damage to me. And now Future Sight is going to be able to hit it, obviously, because it's still got the ring target attached, and the Bishop is down. So we get to use that ring target very, very nicely there. In a couple of my videos, I've used ring target, giving them to like ghost types, and I've landed like, normal type moves on it. Very, very cool, but situational item there. So we got the next Pokemon, the Kyurem. I'm going to go for the Max Mindstorm here because I've got a plan in mind. I don't know if it's going to work at the moment. So here comes the Draco Meteor. That is going to take out my Latios there with its big special attack. And it already did take previous damage from the Bishop there. So that's okay. Latios is down. I've got a plan right here. Now another item, possibly the most useless situational item on this team, is going to be coming into play right now. Now I thought up a strategy with Snowball, right? What is the only Pokemon that can make use of Snowball really well? What is Snowball? When you get hit by an Ice-type move, it raises your attack one stage. Now, I feel like a Pokemon that is 4 times weak to Ice will draw out an Ice move, but how do you get them to live it? By having the Thick Fat ability. On top of that, I've withstood the Ice Beam, and I actually hit the Kyurem with a Gyro Ball. I'm running a physical Appleton here, only on PIMPNITE Shadow. Got the dub there on the Kyurem. It's amazing. The other moves I got in Outrage, Sucker Punch, and Seed Bomb here. Max Attack and Max Speed. The last Pokemon is the Articuno. They're going to go for a Hurricane. It's going to miss. That's going to allow me to get another Gyro Ball off there, doing really, really good damage. Unfortunately, the Articuno is actually going to be able to take me out with a Hurricane here. So, there's one more Pokemon left. Now, this last Pokemon is a very curious set because we got the item as Destiny Bond. Now, Destiny Bond is really, really situational. It's very hard to actually get this to work unless the opponent uses Attract on you. But I'm going to force the opponent actually into this attracting little dance here. So, firstly, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be holding the Destiny Bond. Then I'm going to go for the skill swap here. In this situation, I can't use Attract on the Articuno because it is a genderless legendary. So I'm going to need to show you the full strategy in the second battle. However, I have a double strategy on this one in case things go really bad. This is a physical SP on here. We've got Swagger, so now I'm bouncing back the Swagger to me, increasing my attack with the physical SP on. I've got the move Swagger, and I've got Psychic Fangs as well as my other two moves. Unfortunately, the Articuno is going to be able to get through all that. Almost takes me out with a Hurricane there. I'm confused at the moment. I've got +2 in attack. I get the Psychic Fangs off on the Articuno, but unfortunately, it is just not enough to take it out, and Articuno is going to take me out with a Hurricane. But a very, very close battle there. Hope you enjoyed all the really unconventional worst items in the first battle. I made some really cool, interesting sets to make them work. And let's get on to battle number 2. I'm not even salty I lost that. Like, I pretty much got to use all of my strategies. So, this is a battle on my Discord. Actually, this one was against Joe King, and we have a Raikou lead here. Now, to start the battle off, we've got Shedinja, and Raikou doesn't have a lot to hit with me outside of, like, if it's a special set, I'd say it'd be Shadow Ball, right? I don't know about the physical one. I've got no idea. Then he used the Calm on, like, okay, well, it's probably got Shadow Ball then, right? This is going to be free real estate. I need to get this Lagging Tail onto the Raikou. Raikou's a very fast Pokemon, too. So swapping our items around, I already know what Raikou's item is, so Air Balloon Shedinja, only up in my channel, right? So we're going to go for the Poltergeist here, and it's not going to miss, which is good. Now, with its attack, I've given it Adam and Nature. It does a fair whack of damage for Poltergeist. I'm very, very happy with that. And it's going to be a physical or a mixed Raikou with a bite. Oh, man, and Shedinja is going to fight. So bye-bye, Shedinja. Well, to bite. I mean, there's not much I could have done there, right? Next Pokemon is the Appleton here. I'm going to go for the Seed Bomb here. They've got Quick Attack, so even if you're holding like Lagging Tail, you can still use priority moves and go first. But it is going to stop you from, going first with all your other, sort of non-priority moves there. So bye-bye. Now, with Appleton, I really, really want to bait out an Ice-type move. my opponent has got an Ice-type move. I'm pretty dang sure about it. So I'm going to be saving that one for later, right? So swapping into Nihilego here. This is interesting. We've got the Moltres going for a Leer, and it's going to be dropping my Nihilego's defensive, which is kind of bad. Now, what I'm going to be doing here is I'm going to go for a wrap. You've seen this strategy before. I've wrapped out that Moltres nice and tight with the little Ekans, right? Actually, it's quite a big Ekans. It's going right around that turkey. Speaking of trapping moves, we got a trapping Moltres here. So it's not often a Moltres would stay into a Nihilego matchup because, let's be real, even a Rock Throw would probably take it out right. So we've got the Fire Spin happening here, and we've got the Ekans twirling round and around. Now, to make things speed up a little bit, I'm going to go for the Toxic here, and now Moltres is poisoned, and it's wrapped by the little Ekans. Now, all I got to do is get the Sandstorm up here, but this is a physical Moltres with Wing Attack, and with the -1 to defense, it actually isn't doing that bad a damage to me, so I don't want to take too many wing attacks. Now, thinking here, I can probably take 2 more. It would be bad if I got hit any more than that. Do I get the Sandstorm up here, or do I start going for double teams? Like, you know what, let's get the Sandstorm up, then I'll start spamming double team, or just get as much damage on the Moltres before I faint here. If I can get the Moltres on a low amount of health, it's still mission complete, right? So here comes another wing attack on the Nihilego. I am going to be going down the next turn because there is some fire spin damage there, but Moltres is down below half health now. Things are looking pretty promising, right? So I'm going to take that damage, and that's going to put me on 69 health there, and Moltres is going to take some more damage from the Ekans away. This area does look like an Ekans. I miss using Ekans in Arbok. They're really cool Pokemon. So going for Rapier, I decided against going for double team because I'm going to faint anyway, let's be real. So more damage on the Moltres, and Moltres is going to take me out with a Disrespect Ember. Oh no, PIMPNITE Shadow people. So I'm going to get critted by Ember. We all know that one mattered. And Nihilego is going to faint. But it's okay. Don't worry though, because the big flaming turkey is also going to faint to the Sandstorm damage and the Toxic damage, even though I didn't have the wrap in play there. So that was really good. You got to wrap before you tap, all right? The things you learn on PIMPNITE Shadow. Now, the next Pokemon I'm going to bring in here is going to be Appletun. I'm hoping for the Ice Pokemon, but it didn't happen. It was a Latios. Then I was like, wait, the only Pokemon on their team that I can use this against is a Latios. So we're going to go into Espeon, and I'm going to go on an espionage mission here. So it's a confusion Latios. It's total scum. So they're trying to confuse me, right? Now, this is pretty good. Now, Espeon is running max speed, and we've got max health in this, right? I want to go fast as humanly possible, or Pokemonly possible. I've got Jolly Nature here. What I'm going to do, right, I'm going to go for the skill swap there. So I'm going to get Levitate, and I'm going to give the Latios the Magic Bounce. Now, this is a little bit different from the first battle that I had because I just went straight for Swagger last time to give myself some attack boost. This time, I'm going to be using Attract. Now, what does Destiny Bond do? Destiny Knot. I probably called it Destiny Bond the first battle. If I did, feel free to roast. Actually, just roast anyway. So I've got Destiny Bond as my item, right? I'm just going to call it that right now. Now, with the Destiny Knot, what you do, right, if you get attracted by another Pokemon, Destiny Knot will bounce it back, so you both get attracted. It's a really, really cool little thing in Pokemon. It's very situational. So with my strategy, right, I used Attract, and it bounced it back on the Latios. This was 100% sure that I could get this item, or at least show this item in effect in a battle, instead of waiting for like an opponent to use Attract on me, right? So we're both infatuated at the moment, right? So it's an even playing field here. I have taken a little bit of extra damage, so it's not totally even, but now it's all going to be up to chance here, right? So go for Swagger here on the Latios. It's going to bounce it back to yours truly, and then what I can do, right, I can even go for another one, right? Hopefully. The thing about this is it's risky. It's high risk, high reward, right? So Espeon, well, it doesn't really have the greatest attack in the world. I've got no EVs in attack as well. As you see in that first battle, I failed to take out the Articuno at the end. So I'm going to need a good, I reckon 3 of them would be really, really nice. And with his attack and, in speed, then it's going to be pretty good, right? But the thing about this is I've got to get through all the hitting myself, the confusion, and the infatuation at the same time. So it's incredibly risky. Now, we got the Mobilized by Love on the Latios, which is very, very good right there. I get through the confusion, which is brilliant, right? And I use Swagger again. I was like, I'm all in here. I might as well just go for it, right? If I lose, I lose, right? So Latios is so kind. It gave me another +2 in attack. Now, Espeon is going to have +4 in attack right now. So it's loaded. It's ready to go, right? I'm going to snap out a confusion here. You wouldn't believe it, right? And I'm going to get a Psychic Fangs off on the Latios. Look at that sweet damage. It's a clean 3 hit KO, right? Which is great. Now, Latios, right, is going to get immobilized by love. Like, this couldn't happen. This couldn't happen. You wouldn't get this from any other guy. So I could go for another Psychic Fangs here, right? I just got to get through the love parts. And I didn't get through the love parts. Then the Latios, right, is going to be infatuated, and it's going to go for Recover. It's got Recover as a move. No, I've got to get all that damage back. But don't fret, people. I reckon if I can get through probably, I'd have to be really lucky. I'd have to get through all the infatuations and hit the Latios without it hitting me, right? And that's what happened. Like, this little section here, like, Espeon was falling in love with Latios. Latios was falling in love with Espeon. It was like the greatest Pokemon love story you'd ever read about, right? So anyway, we got immobilized by love. I think it was like 2, 3, maybe 4 turns in a row here. I was on the edge of my seat here. I was praying that Espeon would just do something, right? But it kept getting immobilized by love over and over and over again, right? Then the Latios gets through it, sets up a Tailwind, and that's going to mean, right, it's going to be able to outspeed my Espeon now, right? Which is bad, right? Now, Latios gets through that and gets a freaking confusion off on my Espeon, but it doesn't take me out, people. I'm still in the game, right? So Espeon, right, is going to get infatuated, and it's going to get immobilized by love. I think that's the 5 or 6 turn in a row, and Latios is going to take me out with a Disrespect Confusion. My heart can't take this anymore, people. I can't take these battles anymore. So Espeon's down. The espionage mission was a failure. We'll get him next time, boys and girls. Now, we got Sticky Barb. I have to take Latios out, right? I've got to take it out. Something's got to give here, right? So I don't get confused, which is very, very good. I can go for Trickier, and I've got to pay this Latios back like tenfold for, taking my Espeon out. So I'm going to get a Serving left over, which is great. I was feeling a little bit peckish. And I'm going to give the Latios, right, my Sticky Barb. Now, I'm thinking right here, when you look at my team, I've got Appleton, which can go for Outrage, but I don't want to go for Outrage. Remember how I said at the start, I knew there was an Ice-type Pokemon on their team? So we need to make use of that, right, with the Snowball activation. So instead of that, I'm going to set the Trick Room up. There's already a Tailwind on the field, so I'm at a giant disadvantage already. Plus, my whole team's really, really slow. And then I'm thinking right here, you know what I should do, right? Instead of going for Infestation, we know the opponent's got Recover, right? We know they've got Recover, so there's no way I can beat this. I have to go for a Max Flutterby Infestation with no special attack EVs, right? I must go for that to get some damage here. Now, I feel like I could probably be at about a 2 to 3 hit KO, judging on what Latios's EV spread is, right? I don't think, I'd say it's probably max special attack, but I'm not really sure at this stage, right? I mean, who knows, right? So go for the Max Flutterby here on the Latios. I was expecting maybe a 2 to 3 hit KO, and I got pretty good damage. Ridiculous is special attack is pretty decent, even if you give it no EVs, plus the Dynamax move, yeah? Which is great. And now Latios is going to go for the Confusion here. It's going to do the tiny bit of damage. I was waiting to get confused, by the way. Seriously, like, after all those confusions, I thought I would get confused once. I'm very, very glad about that. Now, Latios has got one more turn. I was like, you know what? I need to pay them back. I need to go for a Max Guard, and hopefully they won't use Recover, as I'll cry on a video. And then the Sticky Barb, right, will take them out, and then I'll get a free turn of left. It'll be free real estate, right? So getting some more help back there, and Latios is going to faint to the Sticky Barb, which is great. I would have loved to get the Sticky Barb back, but, you know, I was in Dynamax, and there's just no time, right? Now, the next Pokemon is in Melmetal. This team was thick. Like, it was like bulky Moltres, like Latios with Recover, and now Melmetal. Now, this is pretty interesting. So we got the Melmetal going for our Thunder Wave, right? I'm on one more turn of Dynamax here. I was like, you know what? Let's just go for that. Get as much damage as I can. And I don't know. I don't think I can do much to Melmetal, right? All I've got is Infestation, right? I've lost my Sticky Barb, so I can't do anything. It's not like I want to go Trick either, because I don't want to give Melmetal leftovers. That would be really, really bad, right? So my best bet here is to probably go for Infestation as much as I can, right? So getting a Paralyze there, Melmetal's got Tailwind. It's going to wiggle its little blue wire at me and drop my defense, right? I wonder what physical move this thing has got. Like, this is actually the EV spread on old Sticky Barb. Let me tell you what that is, right? We got Max Health, and I've got Bold Nature. This thing is super, super thick. And as I mentioned already before, we've got Magic Guard, so I won't take any damage from the Sticky Bar, right? It's a pretty low-key Gallop to your brain there. So getting a crit on Melmetal, which is going to change this entire battle. And now the Melmetal, right, is going to get infected by the Infestation Scum. So I'm getting close to half health. Now Melmetal's going to shake its little blue wire at me again, dropping my defense 2 stages. So I was still very curious what move it's going to use against me. So I just went for Infestation again. Any damage, like even 1 damage is something, right? So Melmetal is getting close to half its health gone. Things are looking up. Wait, that was 3 damage there, not 2. My bad. And here comes a normal gem headbutt. Flinching scumbags, Thunder Wakes there. Man, I'd never do that to someone. So here comes another Infestation here on the Melmetal. With the normal gem, like normal gem headbutt, it's a 3-hit KO. This thing is so thick, right? So anyway, Infestation is going to do some more damage here. I'd say Melmetal will just keep going for Headbutt. Headbutt has a chance of flinching, plus I'm already paralyzed, right? The funny thing is, I didn't get flinch and I didn't get paralyzed, so I was able to get additional Infestation, damage on Melmetal. Not that it was very much or anything, but Melmetal isn't really fast yet. And the thing is, it's actually in close proximity to be taken out. Just maybe I could bring in my Appleton here and go for a sucker punch to take it out there, right? So Melmetal got free from the Infestation. It didn't really matter. I don't think they were going to swap anyway there. And this is the last turn that I'll be able to survive here. But man, Reuniclus was an absolute legend in this battle. Nearly taking out the Melmetal, take out the Latios, which is very, very nice. So bye-bye Reuniclus. Amazing job there with your sticky bar. All right, people, it's time. We're going to bring in Snowball here. Now, I know there's 2 more Pokemon remaining, right? The next one is an Ice-type. I feel like, right, if I take this out, I might be able to draw out the Ice-type Pokemon since I'm 4 times weak to it. Unfortunately for me, unfortunately for the Melmetal, it's going to use Thunder Wave. Then I started to have a plan here. It's like, I might be able to make this to my advantage, right? Because Gyro is powered up, right? Obviously the slower you are, and the Ice-type Pokemon is going to be weak to Steel types, right? So getting a couple of beautiful sucker punches off there. Regice is the next Pokemon. Like, okay, what's it going to be? A physical or special? They've popped an Icy Wind. Icy Wind is going to make me even slower, right? I live it. Thick Fat. Snowball's going to activate. The great thing about Snowball, right, you can get hit by a physical move or a special move, which is wonderful. Praying for no paralysis. It never happened. Gyro-Ball's going to pop off here, and Regice is going to sink into the sea. Man, that was so good. You can't make this up, people. Last Pokemon here we got is the Azelf. Quick, let me take a selfie. I've actually never taken a selfie before. So, Azelf, right, is going to be a Dynamax, right? Now, I was thinking right here, well, Azelf really isn't bulky. I might be able to get a +1 Sucker Punch on this. I'm not saying he's going to take it out, but man, it'll do pretty good damage there. Now, I've got on this set, I've got Brave Nature on my Appleton, and I've got Max Health there. We've also got 2 minutes left remaining on the battle too. Man, the 20-minute timer was on our tail the whole time. So popping that Sucker Punch, doing incredible damage to Azelf there. Azelf is going to go for a Max Mindstorm again here, and Appleton is going to go down. But that's all good. I've got 1 more Pokemon left, and that is my Latios, right? Now, as you know, Latios is a Future Sight set. Now, there's no point in me going Trick or Ring target here. I'm thinking, well, I could go for the Future Sight here, and then I could go for a Twister, or I've got Protect as well. So firstly, outspeeding the Azelf, which is great, getting that Future Sight up. And now Azelf is going to have a normal type move. I'm not really sure what it is. It's probably a Troll move there. I have to say it's probably a Troll move. It does really, really good damage from there. 50 seconds left of this battle, people, and I'm going to go for a Twister this time. So another Max Strike from the Azelf here. One more one more move and I'm toast, right? So Latios' speed is going to get dropped another stage, yeah. Twister comes in, it drops really hard but does not take the Azelf out. We've got 1 more turn to go, people. Future Sight is on its way next turn. I'm going to throw the Protect up there, protect myself for any other move here from the Azelf. It's going to have Confusion. It's another Troll set. I'm going to block the Confusion, and the Future Sight is going to land on the Azelf, and it's going to take it out. That, my friends, is the second battle. Hope you enjoyed the worst underrated items team. It was so much fun to use these really cool items. I'll catch you tomorrow for another brand new video. Peace out.